Hi Tailoring Talkers, welcome back to the channel. We have got our first ever review unit, which means we are growing, so thank you all so much for your support. We are going to be looking at the PearlClip Open Earbuds. I'm going to be comparing these with the AirPods 4 and the AirPods Pro. We'll do an unboxing, take you through the features, I'll do some real world testing, and then give you my final verdict. These are the PearlClip Pro. They were very kindly sent to me by SOUNDPEATS, so I want to say a big thank you to them for trusting us with this unboxing and review. And I'm actually really excited to open these up and give them a listen. So I alternate between the AirPods 4 and the AirPods Pro now. They're my sort of dailies. I have tried other earbuds open and in-ear before. I would never normally look at something at this price level. They're $59.99 and you can often get them on a voucher offer. We have got a link in the description. So I haven't bought these. These were sent to me as a review unit. Anyway, enough waffling. Let's just get on and unbox these things. So packaging is nice and small, very neat. Let's have a look in the lid first and get the boring stuff out of the way. A little packet here which has got some information. Peats Audio. Download the Peats Audio app to enjoy exclusive benefits. So they give a total 18 months warranty when you registered a product for nothing. When you buy AirPods and things, you need to get Apple Care Plus to extend the standard 12 months. Pre-sales after-sale service, reset customized earbuds, personalize the equalizer adjustment, and a detailed user manual all in the app. Then we have got a user guide here. Again, I'm a bloke, so I don't read these things. And then, this is really cool. Look, we've got some stickers with the SOUNDPEATS panda. That's pretty cute. I don't know what people do with stickers. I guess they stick them on things. Yeah, fun, nice little touch. I have to say, everything feels quite premium for something that is essentially a budget product. The case, and before we look at that, let's just see what else is in the box. I think we've got a little cable here. We've got a Type A to Type USB-C charging cable. I'm actually going to put that back in the box because I have got lots of USB-C cables lying around since Apple ditched Lightning. Best thing they've done in the last few years. Just take the protective film off of the case. There we go, that's the charging case. I imagine that this is some sort of indicator light. And you've got another little LED here. We'll find out exactly what this is. And then we've got a USB-C charging port on the back, the SOUNDPEATS logo right there on the hinge. And this is a graphite finish. It feels really nice. The plastic feels really premium actually on first touch. And it actually feels a bit more durable than the AirPods Pro and the AirPods 4 cases, which just scratch so easily. You have those for about 5 seconds and they're scratched up. But this doesn't feel like it will do that, which is quite nice, and it's nice and compact as well. I'm just going to grab my AirPods 4 and my AirPods Pro and we'll have a look at the case sizes and compare them. Okay, I found some more wireless earbuds. So here we have got the SOUNDPEATS, and then we have got the Beats PowerBeats 2 Pro Wireless. There they are, humongous in comparison. Then we have the Technics AZ100s. Kind of comparable actually, the Technics case is a little bit smaller. Just hasn't have the sort of circumference and rounded edges there. Then we have got the AirPods 4 with ANC. Kind of footprint's a little bit smaller than the SOUNDPEATS case. And then we have got the AirPods Pro, which are a little bit shorter and a little bit taller. So again, I'd say they're sort of comparables with the AirPods Pro 2 case. Yes, I use a lanyard, don't sue me. These are absolutely humongous in comparison, but compared to the sort of AirPods cases and the Technics, they're sort of about the same. So that's kind of cool for portability. Right, let's take the earbuds out. So yeah, so we have got our little charge indicator light, and we're going to have a look at the earbuds here themselves. So these are an open ear design. We've got some little protective stickers. So it says remove me, and then I'm guessing it's going to ask me to pair this with my phone. So I was using my iPhone 16 Pro Max to film from the front, but obviously that's not happening now. So we'll just continue with top down. I'm still learning my way around doing these reviews and stuff. So as the channel grows, we will get better equipment and more equipment. But for now, we're still winging it. Okay, so remove me. So let's remove those little tabs. Before I do the other one, I just want to say, these are gorgeous. I can't believe these are like a £59 product. That's crazy. So you've got they're very, very lightweight, first of all. You've got the kind of rubber stem, and then you've got this kind of almost blue pearlescent, I guess that's where the name of them comes from, PearlClip. Almost metallic-y, kind of futuristic sort of cover on each end of the buds, and they look fantastic. They are so light as well. I mean, even when you compare, I guess the weight is comparable to these, they're actually a little bit lighter than the AirPods Pro, and they're roughly the same as the AirPods 4. Yeah, these are absolutely gorgeous. They do look very unusual, so I'll be interested to try these on, but yeah, they're really gorgeous. So let's pair these up. I don't think there's a left and right indicator on these, so I don't think it matters which ear, and it certainly doesn't matter which side of the case you put them in. I think the only thing is you've got a little connector on the inner slot, so you need to make sure that that one is connected in there, but it doesn't matter which one goes which way around, and then that charges up. So let's give this a little setup. SOUNDPEATS. A little bit of information about their company. You need to log in or sign up, so I don't have an account, so I'm gonna just do a sign up. Allow SOUNDPEATS to find Bluetooth devices. I guess we have to allow that. There's no obvious way to put this into pairing mode. Ah, so this is a button. So hold it down, now it's in pairing mode. Right, so I'm having some problems with the Bluetooth pairing, which might be something that I've done wrong, I don't know. But I'm going to do it manually. Right, there we go. We've got the SOUNDPEATS PearlClip Pro. So full transparency, I had some issues there. So in the end, I had to turn Bluetooth off and turn it back on again, and then they came up. So now we're connected. So let's go back to the SOUNDPEATS app. Okay, so now it's found the device. So yeah, so this is what we do, go through the pain so that you don't have to. So we can see there we've got the image of the PearlClip Pros, and the battery is nicely charged up on each bud, and we've got 74% in the case, equalizer, prompt sound guide, touch operation, dynamic EQ, game mode, and then you can disable touch control. It has a find earbuds mode, so you can use the location. It's got some sort of location tracking, so that's actually quite cool in case you lose them. Movie mode, I guess that's obviously when you're watching movies. And then you can do all of your firmware updates and all of that sort of thing. So let's just check for an update. Latest version's installed, that's handy. We've got the user guide here with tutorial videos, and then you've got presets on the graphic equalizers. So I'm just gonna go bass boost, but then you have got adaptive EQ as well, and then you can customize the sound. And I'm just gonna use the preset bass boost, and then I guess we should give these a listen. I can't get one of the earbuds working. Okay, so the show's connected, and then to put them in, I'm guessing you put the little speaker bit towards your ear. This might end up being a really short review. Okay, let's play something that I know really, really well. And we're gonna go for Wet Leg's new album, Moisturizer, which is awesome, by the way. So first initial impression, I would say that these are comparable more to the AirPods 4 because they're an open ear design. So what they're doing is the driver is shooting sound into your ear canals, kind of lobbing it in. Whereas with the AirPods Pro, your earbud is in the ear canal, so it's kind of putting the sound straight into your eardrums. There's going to be people watching this that are going to comment and go, that's not how sound works, but whatever. So kind of that's how they are. Clipped onto the ear, I can't really feel them. You know they're there, but it's so weird. It's almost like they're floating on the ear. They're very, very lightweight. This doesn't hurt at all. I mean, they'll be really secure. They're not going to go anywhere. So this wireframe design is really, really good. I mean, they apparently only weigh 5.5 grams, so they're as light as a coin. But yeah, they're very, very gentle and secure. I imagine that you would just forget these were here even if you're not listening to music. It's a weird feeling to be able to listen to music but also still hear what's going on around you. I've used bone conduction earphones like Aftershocks before, and that you understand because everything's going through here, so your ears are still open, but to have something not in the ear but sort of just floating just outside that's directing sound in, but you can kind of still hear, is kind of quite cool. So imagine when you're walking or running or cycling, these would be really, really good, and you shouldn't lose any of the world around you or the music because of how the sound's being directed in. These are using a 12mm dual magnet speaker. I have no idea what that really means, but what I'm hearing is reasonable sound quality. They're not going to be as good as either of these, but if you're someone who doesn't have either £179 or £249 budget, you've only got £50–60 to spend on a pair of earbuds, these aren't a bad option. The music sounds pretty crisp and clear. This is not going to be an earbud for bass heads, but for someone who just wants music on and you want it to a sort of reasonable standard quality, these will do the job. For the money, they will more than do the job. I mean, they cost less than a third of the price of these, so you can't really complain that much. In terms of battery life, you get up to 6 hours use on a single charge. The charging case tops you up to 24 hours total, so you could take a day trip or something and not need to take a charger with you, and you would be able to run all day with these. And if you're in a rush and your battery's low, a 10-minute charge gives you 2 hours of playback time. They are IPX5 waterproof, so that means that you can wear them in the gym and sweat all over them, and you could probably even wear them in the shower. Rain is not going to affect these either, which is great. They also have a low latency gaming mode, so if you want to use them with your console or with devices like the Switch 2, the sound's going to keep up with what's going on screen. They support dual device connection, so you can be paired to both your phone and your laptop, for example, at the same time. And there is no left or right earbud, as I said earlier on. You just pick one up, put it in your ear, and it works. And for taking and making calls on them, they use an AI-powered noise cancellation with built-in microphones, so background noise is filtered out and the person on the other end of the call should be able to hear you quite clearly. For me, the gold standard for calls are still the Apple AirPods. Again, for the money, you really can't complain with these. Hey guys, so I'm outside. It's a bit breezy. I'm just going to sort of do a mic test. I've never done one of these before, but here they are. They kind of look like weird earrings. I'm not sure about the look of them. I guess it's because we all know what AirPods look like, but these do look a bit sort of earringy, so I'm not sure about that. Here they are again, and this is me talking through them, so tell me what you think of the sound quality. And I should mention, the sound quality is actually really good, despite the wind and being able to sort of hear what's going on around. The way that the drivers are injecting the sound into the ear, the podcast I'm listening to is really clear and music sounds great as well. So I think on the main video I kind of said it was okay, but actually having spent a little bit more time with them, they're really, really good. I mean, for the price, you really just can't go wrong with these. They're really, really good value. Just another thing, I played a couple spatial audio tracks in Apple Music, and the surround effects work really, really well. The instrument separation is great, and listening to a couple tracks that I know really, really well, it's doing a similar job to what the AirPods Pro, the AirPods 4, the AirPods Max, and other spatial audio supporting earphones and headphones do. So again, I keep saying it, but for a 59 quid product, these are well worth a look. Okay, so I had to actually come back and re-record the end of this review and actually change my verdict slightly after using these PearlClips in the real world for about 24 hours. And I have to say, my opinion has definitely changed. Initially, I was unsure about them and thought that the sound quality and so on was just okay. Well, in actual fact, having walked, cycled and run in them, here are the things that I really like and recommend. They are nice and lightweight, you don't really feel them on the ears. The sound quality is good. It's not as good as you're going to get with a set of these or the AirPods Pro, because it does lack a little bit of depth, but again, it's an open ear design, so you kind of expect that with those. It does highlight how good the AirPods 4 are though, and I am going to do a video comparing these to the AirPods Pro 2, to see if saving £70 is something that you can do if you opt for these, but that's for another time. The PearlClip Pro's stereo quality, their spatial audio application is really good, and I have to say I was really surprised at the quality of the microphones. The AirPods and the AirPods Pro 2s are the gold standard in my opinion for wireless earbuds and being able to have conversations on the phone. The number of times I've had people say to me, "Are you indoors?" when I've actually been on my Vespa, for example, is absolutely incredible. Now with these, I actually did make a few phone calls while I was out and about. It was a pretty windy day yesterday and I came across crystal clear. I've also got a clip of me talking and recording at the same time using the PearlClip's microphones. Here it is now. Tell me what you think of the audio. Hey guys, so I'm outside. It's a bit breezy. I'm just gonna sort of do a mic test. I've never done one of these before, but here they are. They kind of look like weird earrings. I'm not sure about the look of them. So I would say that these are great for someone who wants a cheap pair of earbuds that give decent sound quality, great performance for making and receiving phone calls, and wants a pair of workout buds that aren't going to feel heavy and aren't going to drop off their ears. Long battery life is another bonus. But here are some of the things that I don't like about them. Number one, visually, I do not like the way that they look in the ears. Maybe I haven't put them on correctly, but with my shape of ear, I couldn't find another way to get them on. They kind of just ended up sort of dropping around here, and they just look like a big pair of earrings, which is not really my personal style. And I did initially have some connectivity issues. Full disclosure, in the end I had to reboot the app and actually unpair them and repair them again to get them going. But once you do get them going, they do connect pretty seamlessly. I don't think the app is that great, and I think if you want a seamless experience with any earbuds, if you're an iPhone user, you should definitely be looking at AirPods. But again, going back to the main theme for this review is that we're looking at a pair of £59 earbuds. You can get them for around £50-52 with voucher offers on Amazon from time to time. And I also have a code in the description if you're interested in checking them out. So for the price, they are pretty damn good. I mean, if you're going to save £100 on a pair of earbuds, you're going to expect to forego some conveniences. The other thing actually, whilst I remember, is that the touch controls are a little bit hard to work out, much easier on other earbuds that have physical buttons. But again, that's probably more a case of me not reading the instructions than any fault of SOUNDPEATS themselves. Would I recommend them? If you are on a budget and you do not have more than £50-60 to spend on a pair of earbuds and you want something that's water resistant, sweat proof, you can use in the gym, you can cycle, run, you can commute with them, you want decent sound quality, you're not bothered about having the best bass, etc., and the most open sound stage, and you want something that you can make and receive calls with to a decent quality, then yes, I definitely recommend them. If your budget is bigger, then I would definitely have a look at AirPods, Sony XM6s, Bose Quiet Comfort Ultras, those sorts of things. But you know, then if you've got £160 to £300 to spend on a pair of earbuds, you're probably not the sort of person that's ever going to look down at the £50-60 price mark. So there we go. If you're interested in checking them out, there is a link in the description below. Thank you very much to SOUNDPEATS for sending us this review unit. I will continue to test them, and if there's anything new that I find out about them, I'll be sure to post even just a quick short just to update you. But there we go. Thanks very much for watching. If you found that useful, remember to like, subscribe, all the usual YouTubey stuff, and I'll see you on the next one.